Criticism should not shape who you allow yourself to be, who you allow yourself to become, what you allow yourself to wear, to decide, to choose, to do, to experience in. You know, a lot of people who face the criticism, they allow it to tell them what they can or cannot do in life. This life was given to us for a reason because we can control it. We can choose who we want to be. We can choose how life goes for us. But we are still walking around allowing people who criticize and judge to tell us who we can or cannot be. Why are you giving power to a person who doesn't even know what goes on in your brain, who doesn't know your brain, who doesn't know your body, who doesn't know your nervous system, does not go to sleep with you at night, does not tell you who you are constantly in your thoughts to control your life? Most of those people who criticize other people don't have control over who they know they are or who they are in general. They don't have control over the choices that they make because they make them according to other people. They don't take control of what's theirs, and so they want to take control of what's others. Those people will literally destroy your life if you allow them to. If you get emotionally involved in that. If you get emotionally involved in the words, in the nasty, grimy words that they tell you that in reality is just a reflection of how they are in the inside, in their brain. They're literally showing you what goes on in their brain, what goes on in their head. So why are you allowing that person to control your life? You know by the criticism that they send towards you that they hate themselves. They're at war with themselves. They criticize themselves. They're filled with hate. They're filled with anger. They're filled with guilt and shame and unhappiness. So if you know the brain, if you know how the brain works, if you know how the human body form works, then you would know that that person has zero power in their life. And so how the fuck would they have power in yours? Knowing psychology, you can know these things. You can find these things out by studying yourself, and then it's easier to study other people. Studying yourself, you find out who you are. You find out why you were in cycles. You find out why you were deciding things and choosing things, because it was the limits that you had on allowing yourself to be who you want. It was the limits you had on yourself that you had from allowing someone to tell you who you are, or you shaping a version of you based off of the criticism or the hate that you faced, right? And so when you break those cycles and you begin to find out who you truly are, full throttle, full potential, full power, you take control of the power that you have, of the life that you have, of the life that you were given to create. And so it becomes yours. You become who you want to be. You start to embody who you want to be. You start to do what you want to do. You start to dream big and accomplish those dreams because you know that you can. You studied yourself enough to know that. And so imagine there comes a time where you face criticism and judgment and people's like, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. Who does she think she is? She's not worthy. She can't do that. I'd like to see her try. I'd like to see her do it and fail and watch her not do it, right? All of these things that people say to break people down to their level of their mind, of how they think on a day-to-day basis. People in high conscious don't think like that. They don't have time to think like that because they're busy fulfilling their potential. They're busy fulfilling their life. They're busy living their very best life and becoming who they want to be. So what makes you think that a person criticizing you has all their shit together, is living their dream life, is being who they want to be, is speaking how they want to speak, saying what they want to say, creating what they want to create? They're not. That's why they're criticizing you, because they're jealous, they're intimidated, and they're triggered, and they think that you are a part of their anger. They think that you're at fault for their misery, their anger, their unhappiness, their shame, their guilt. Right? And that's why people need to start getting more emotionally involved in themselves and who they want to be, and where they want to go, in their accomplishments in life, and their goals. Even if it's small steps, you can become who you want to become by taking action towards that, right? And not taking action towards what other people tell you you can or can't do. or who you can or can't be. So you can't control what you get emotionally involved in. You can control what you give attention to. You can control yourself. You are in control of yourself. Your reactions, your decisions, your choices, your the ways that you go about things, the path that you choose, the things that you do for yourself, the way you think, the way you give attention to thoughts, the way you get emotionally involved in thoughts, the way that you get emotionally involved in people who you surround yourself with, the opportunities that you accept and receive and allow in, and the decisions that you choose that align with your vision. All of these things you have control over because you were giving the power to know these things, to do these things, to find these things through yourself. So if you're constantly allowing a person who, we all have the same power, but if they're not allowing their power to be seen because they are ashamed and they're walking around with guilt and hatred and upsetness and anger and just filled with other people's criticism because they got emotionally involved in it. They got emotionally involved in other people's angers, other people's attitudes, other people's criticism, judgment, hatred. All of these things, they got themselves emotionally involved in that to where it shaped who they are, which is a criticizing, filled with hate, angry person. And so anyone they come in contact with, they try to project that onto them because that's all they know. That's all they're allowing themselves to be, instead of realizing they don't have to be that. That's who other people wanted them to be. That's who other people told them that they are. That's who other people made them be. And they decided to get emotionally involved in that and allowed it to manifest through their vessel, to where that's how they feel on the inside. That's all their body is familiar with. That's all their body knows. That's all their mind knows. That's all they know how to think around, to make decisions around, to make choices around, to do things around. And then over time, it becomes permanent, it becomes a fact, and then it's something that's it just follows them everywhere in their life. And then it happens subconsciously, it happens unconsciously. And so anyone that they come into contact with, it's just constant survival mode, constant fighting, constant what's that word, competition, right? It's just fight instead of allowing themselves to be, instead of knowing who they are to where that they're able to have a conversation with someone without criticizing them, right? And so it becomes a cycle that they unknowingly get into, that they're in. They're going and allowing things to emotionally terrorize them, emotionally deplete them, emotionally control their life, instead of taking control of their own. With that mindset, honestly, life will form around that. If they have that mindset, life will form around it. The people they meet, the friends, the friendships, the relationships, the opportunities, the job opportunities, meaning there won't be job opportunities for them. It won't be the ones that they want. It won't be the friendships they want. It won't be the relationships they want. It won't be the opportunities that they want. It won't be the environments that they want. It won't be the food that they want. It won't be the income that they want. It won't be the appearance that they want, the health that they want, the mindset that they want. All of these things they can't have because that's who they're choosing to be, the person who doesn't have it, the person who's filled with other people's judgment, hate, and decisions. And being honest, I never really looked at it like this because I was in that position, right? I was in that position, and finally studying my mind and studying how do these things just form, because they don't just pop out of nowhere. It takes consistency, persistence, and repetition, and a decision that gets decided over and 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 over, and it sticks and it manifests and it becomes, because you're giving power to it. You're getting emotionally involved in it, which literally our emotions, our actions, our decisions, our choices, and the neural pathways in our brains are powerful because we spark that. We give power to that. We're literally powerful beings. And so if you're continually giving power to a decision that you know is not for you, so it's like, say if you make the decision to keep going back to this ex, oh, that's the only person available for me, right? And you keep going back to it, oh my gosh, this is the only person available. That will become a fucking fact, to where that's the kind of partner you attract. It's literally a reflection of what you got yourself familiar with. That's all you will attract. That's all you will have in your life. The income, the treatment, the emotions, the ideas, all of these things you are choosing, whether you know it or you don't, which you can know it by studying your brain. And I really want to get into that. So let me just talk about this really quick though. So it's just a choice you make, and once you start to make a different choice, you start to change, you start to evolve, because there's power in that decision, even if it doesn't make impact immediately. Repetitively doing it and repeating it and getting familiar with that, and getting familiar with who's making that decision, what is making that decision, what kind of mindset and person is making that decision, right? What kind of income does that person have, right? What kind of environment is that person in? All of these things you start to make the decision around that person, and you create it, you embody it, you give power to it, you become it. It reflects through your life. It reflects through your income, your health, your body, your mind, what you wear, what you do, your boundaries, who you allow around you, who you bring around you, the power of your presence to magnetize any and all opportunities that are for you and that are serving you, decisions that serve your life, choices that serve your life. All of these beautiful things that we have the power to do because we were given that. And so you, with persistence and repetition, because it will be uncomfortable. It will be like, who is this stranger trying to embody this vessel, right? It's so funny because you have to first start to train your mind, and then you start to train your body, you start to train your energy, you start to train your polarity, your energy. All of these things, they come in contact. First, doing it in your mind, picturing it in your mind, believing it in your mind, deciding it in your mind, choosing it in your mind, right? You are allowing your brain to become familiar with it. You are sparking neural pathways that these things are familiar. It is the norm. It's always been the norm. It's been the norm. And so your brain sends that signal to your body, and then your body is like, oh, this is normal. I can do this. This is real. This is real, because your brain doesn't know whether it's real or not. You have to decide that it is. You're training your body and your brain to work together, your heart to work together, to get the results that you want, to be the person you want, to be in the environment you want, to have the income you want. All of the things that you want, you already have it. You have the tools, you have the resources, and you have the power to create that version, to create that reality and jump the timeline. A lot of people become victims to their minds because they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use it. They don't know how to study it and to find out things that give even more power to who we are. Unlock, let me not say give because we already have it, but unlock more power directly from source, directly from using the tool that we were given to create this life in the ways that we want. And a lot of people don't know how to use it. They don't know how to, let me find the words. They don't know how to tell it what you want, right? Because you can do that. You can do that. You can say right now, I have my dream business. Okay, what does that look like? It looks like me writing a blueprint, writing down my business ideas, finding a logo, finding the things that I want to sell. Why do I want to sell it? How does that make me feel? What is the income? What are the prices? How often am I selling? What does the website look like? All these things. So if you're telling yourself that, it unlocks the exact resources that you want and you need by telling your brain, telling yourself, telling your conscious what is. And then it comes into manifestation. It comes into the physical. It comes into reality. You are it. You are the version of you that has this business and you are successful. Boom shakalaka. Like, you start effortlessly following the steps and carrying it out into reality, into manifestation, physical form. And so first, it will happen mentally. You get the ideas, you get the encouragements, you will get the motivation, you'll write down the notes, you'll find the logo, you'll decide the logo, you'll design the logos, the clothes, all these things. And so then it becomes, wow, I wake up in the morning, I want to work on this. I want to do this. Okay, what can I do energetically? You get emotionally involved in it. Oh, it's here. It's succeeding already. It's already mine. It's already invested in every single day. It increases, it expands as well as with my consciousness. So those are affirmations, decisions, and choices energetically. And then it goes on to your actions. Now it's like, okay, I can go out and get the materials. I can start to work on pieces, try things out, experiment, right? And then that's when it's like you have the resources, you have the product, you have the things. And, that's where some people stop there because it's like, oh, money, right? You don't have money. Oh, I don't have money right now. That's a decision that you are making that is the opposite of the blueprint that you are creating. It's the opposite of the decision that you made that you have a successful business. So stopping there will only be sabotaging yourself. It will only be going along with what's familiar. And that is the shit that literally pushes us out of the blueprint that we created. It literally separates us from it, and we wouldn't even know. You're separating yourself from the blueprint by making a decision that you know does not serve you or the blueprint or the vision. Self-sabotage. Okay, so it's just, I'm gonna go on and on. It's just something you have to take control of your life, or you're gonna allow others to control it for you. You're going to allow your emotions to control it for you. You're going to allow other people's criticism to control it for you. You're going to allow circumstances to control it for you, when the current circumstances is because of who you are being. The current circumstances is because of the decisions you made over and over and over and over in the past that your body's familiar with and safe with. So now you got to make it uncomfortable and adapt to the unfamiliar, which is on the opposite of not having money. Oh, I'm abundantly fulfilled through opportunities and ideas, and I export them and I manifest them into reality physically. And so boom, there's abundance, there's overflow of abundance from you creating. Each time you create and you build things and you act on your visions and you act on your desires, you are unlocking more abundance within yourself that is already there. You are literally expanding your consciousness, your abundance, and your ability to do the things that you know you want to do. It's just reminding your body every time that you still do it, you do it every single time, again and again, 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 again. You are reminding your body that we can do things. Oh, I can do this. You're telling your brain, oh, I can do this. This is possible. The thing that you thought was impossible becomes possible, becomes reality. And it's just something that you have to teach yourself. It is a skill. It indeed is a skill. It is a skill that you have to adapt to. You have to embody and unlearn things along the way. Unlearn the things that you told yourself and you taught yourself in the past that has got you nowhere, that has got you into dead ends, dead walls, and self-sabotage. If anything that you're doing now is not leading you where you want to be, why are you doing it? If what you're doing right now is not leading you to where you want to be, why are you doing it? Why are you running back to the ex? Why are you staying at a job that pays you, that underpays you? Why are you doubting yourself and criticizing yourself when you know you want to be the most confident, best, highest version of yourself? Like, people get themselves in those kinds of things and they don't even know because of what they taught themselves. They taught themselves that criticism and also doubting themselves is the norm. Staying victim to things is the norm. When in reality, that is not. You're not built to do that. And that's why most people get so depressed, mentally depleted, ill, with diseases and sicknesses, because they're doing the opposite of what they were made to do. They're distracting themselves instead of evolving themselves and expanding themselves. And then it turns into low conscious, and then it turns into creating your whole life around low conscious, to where you can't even expand. You can't even imagine yourself expanding. Like, that is just the fucking limit there for some people, because they've trained themselves so much to think that is the norm. To be small, to be shrunken, and to not take up space. You're meant to take up space. That's why you're here. You're taking up space consciously with everything that's around you. Everything that is around you is also taking up space, because it's from your consciousness. You attracted it through consciousness. Another thing, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's just, you have to catch yourself. You have to ask yourself the question. First, you have to know what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to build, what you want to create, all the things that you want to do in life. You have to ask yourself those things. You have to get to know yourself, to actually know firmly and specifically and clearly what it is that is your goal in life, what it is that you want in life, what it is that you want life to reflect right back to you. And you have to ask yourself, if it's not what's leading you to what you want to do, why are you doing it? If it's not leading you to who you want to be, why are you doing it? If you know that getting yourself involved into toxic friendships and relationships is only going to make you depressed, or make you feel less than, or make you feel unworthy, or make you doubt even being able to have better friendships, then why are you still in them? Why are you still giving time and energy to them? Why are you still giving the power of your presence to that? Why are you still getting emotionally involved with those people? Why are you allowing those people to keep you in a box and shape you into limits? You're not seeing any growth in them. You're not seeing any expansion in them. You're seeing the same cycles. Why is that attractive? It's not. And so you have to get yourself uncomfortable with the comfortable, and get yourself comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's where things will start to shift. It's just a fundamental. It really is. It's learning life. It's studying life. It's studying the tools you have. It's studying your brain. It's studying your existence. You're not here to not know. You're here to evolve through finding out, through gaining, through challenges, through uncomfortableness, through just getting familiar with the unknown, because we can't know if we don't try, if we don't do it, if we don't find out, if we don't ask the questions. How would you know what you like in relationships if you don't ask the questions? You know what you don't want because you've experienced it over and over and over and over and over again. But if you ask the question, what am I actually looking for in this relationship? What am I actually looking for in this friendship? What am I actually looking for in this job? For the job part, most people say stability and financial freedom and fulfillment, but that's not going to get you that. The true financial fulfillment and freeness is through the career that you build, the business that you build, you doing what you love and allowing that to unlock more abundance within you. It's about being able to relax and receive. And most people can't do that under stressful fucking work environments that they keep themselves in to fit in, because that's what's normal to society. No. Right? Because now you're just following rules that doesn't even fucking apply to you. You're applying them to yourself instead of creating your own. Most days people want to be followers and be accepted, but they don't realize the most place that they're accepted at is who they want to be, where they want to go, what they want to do. They just have to tell themselves that they are. They just have to find out how to get there, how to unlock that, how to expand within that. And you can. Same goes for the relationships. Okay, you're in a relationship over and over and over and over and over again. You're getting into the same types of relationships with the same kinds of men or women, and you're going through this cycle where it just ends the same way. It looks like the reflection of the last person you were with. And it's like, what are you genuinely looking for? You don't even know. You're just in relationships. You're just putting yourself in these things so that you're not lonely, so that you don't feel as if you're unworthy, or whatever reason that it is that you're putting yourself in these relationships. You have to ask yourself, what exactly am I looking for that I don't have it within myself? Because you have it. If you're looking for love, genuine love, you have it. Looking for it through somebody else who's not treating you the way that you know that you deserve is you honestly hating yourself. Like, it's doing the complete opposite of loving yourself. So it's not the love, because you have it. You might feel lonely, so you think that you need to be around a person 24 hours of the day, but you're not getting to know yourself, you're getting to know them. And so that's why anytime you get in a relationship, that's all you know. It reflects the person that you were with, because that's all you know. You're not getting to know yourself. You're not getting to know what you want, what you're looking for, what you have. You're looking for what other people have. And it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be what you deserve. It's going to be what the other person thinks they deserve, what the other person sees that they deserve, their values, their standards. And if it's hatred and they don't love themselves and they don't walk around with integrity and self-love, that's exactly what you're going to get. If they have lack of love towards yourself and you're getting in a relationship with that person, that's exactly what you're going to get. Lack of love. If you're going to get dishonesty, and if the person's dishonest, disloyal, has zero integrity, takes zero accountability, that's exactly what you're going to get. They're going to cheat. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to manipulate you. They're going to do all these things that puts you in a category of shaping yourself through their actions towards you. And so that's all you think is available. That's all you think, oh, dang, that's all I'm worth. That's all I can get. No, you're choosing that. Like, that's what the brain does. Even to things that people know is not for them, they still crave it. They still crave being underpaid because that's what's comfortable. Oh, I don't have to do the hard work. It's ridiculous. It's just something that a lot of people who don't know themselves get themselves into. You know, oh, the relationship, the environment I'm in, I can't get out of it. I'm just going to stay. No, you haven't tried anything. You haven't tried it all. You haven't tried the one thing. You haven't tried so many times and failed so many times to the point where you found the thing that actually works through yourself. So, what are you choosing, and is it leading you to where you want to be? Who are you choosing, and are they leading you to where you want to be? What are you choosing that is shaping your life right now? What are you choosing that is shaping who you are? What decisions are you making? Where are you going? What are you doing? Why do you want to go there? How does it make you feel? What does it make you do? How does it make your mind feel? Right? How does it make your body feel? How does it make your intuition respond to it? All of these things. You have to ask yourself to get to know life. That's how you get to know life. You get to know life because you are life. And getting to know yourself helps you get to know life. It helps you get to know your tools, who you are, who you're becoming, how you're becoming, the seasons, the stages, the hibernation, the growth, the expansion, the fundamental parts where you fail and you get back up. And you get up stronger and you expand. All of these things, it's through you experiencing yourself, studying yourself. And how you experience yourself is you study, you do the thing, and if it fails, you realize, okay, hey, I can go again, and I can find out more about me. I can find out more about my tools, and why didn't it work? What will work? It's It's just a long, adventurous journey that people take advantage of, or, excuse me, people don't realize. It's something that we were given, that we were created with. Abundance is our birthright. Okay. And a lot of people get stuck at that part. Oh, I don't have money to do this though. I can't do that though. You can. The abundance is in your mind. You have to create it. You have to manifest it into physical form. Money is the physical form, but abundance is a spiritual, energetic form that's within you, that you were created with. You have the resources. You are abundance. You have the resources to create the business that you want, the life you want, the person you want, the income, the experiences. All of these things, you have it. So who's telling you that you don't? No one can control who you're choosing to be. No one can. The people you surround yourself with reflects a part of you. So if you're wounded and you think that you're broke and worthless, you're going to attract people who are like that. But if you think, oh, I am successful, I can do things, I am able, I can create the life I want, I know who I am, I know that I have integrity, I have boundaries, I have a vision for life, you're going to attract people like that. And then those people help you grow. Those people pour into you as you pour into them. They pour into you with you. And they lead you to where you want to go because they know where they want to go. They know who they are becoming. They know the life that they were given and the tools that they were given, the resources that they were given. You will attract those people. So again, what are you telling yourself that you don't want to hear? What are you telling yourself that makes your body go, yuck, but you're comfortable in it? What are you telling your body the opposite? That is what you genuinely want. And why are you telling yourself it? It's studying yourself. Study yourself. An hour a day. An hour a day. Learn about your brain. Learn about your tool. Learn about your bodies. Learn about life, which is through you. So I can go on and on. I'm going to stop it here though. So if you guys want another podcast episode, please let me know. I do want to make videos more like this because I realize talking to the camera, I feel like I have to learn that skill because I feel like sometimes I get so focused on just looking through myself, like I'm talking to myself, right? Which I am most of the time. And so I get a bit scared, like, oh, I'm calling myself out. But that's something I do need to do. But I will do more podcast episodes because these are really fun. I'm just sitting here kicking my feet and talking what I need to say to myself and to other people. And so if you guys want to hear more of these amazing self-work inner talk podcasts, please let me know because this is going to be my first podcast ever. And I'm really excited because I've been wanting to make a video like this, wanting so bad. And I just had to start studying myself even more and doing inner work about what is it exactly am I doing for my community? What is it that I'm doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I doing it for, right? And I'm doing it for the people who really needs to be guided through the experiences of what they're experiencing now. You know, the things that I went through, they're experiencing now. Okay, I learned through that. I taught myself how to become who I wanted through experiencing that. And so I can teach these people through sharing my experiences and sharing my knowledge and sharing exactly what I learned through doing inner work. And it's the people who want to find themselves, who needs to find themselves, because you do. That's what I'm doing it for. The people who want to evolve, the people who want to put their life to use and to purpose, who wants to live their life fully and stop making excuses, because that's why I started doing it. I do not want to make any more excuses. There's no excuses. There's zero. Not the excuses people give you, not the excuses that you made in the past that you try to go back to and go, okay, let me justify this. No, it's not those. So those do not control your life. You do. And so I finally said, I want to take control of my life because I have control. And so the people who want that, listen in, tune in, because you're getting all the answers, getting all the knowledge that I learned through experiences and through inner work and studying myself. Studying yourself is the funnest thing ever. I used to think I would never do that. A low conscious thinking. Let me give myself grace though. So, if you guys love this podcast, I thank you so much for listening in. I wish you abundance, prosperity moving forward. And I give you so much grace, so much love, and so much support on the journey of you studying yourself. And I hope that you find what you're looking for through you, not through outside, but through you. Because you are the goal, you are the blueprint, and you are in control. You are the creator of your life. So create it. Take control of it. Do what you want. Build what you want. It's all going to work out in the end. What exactly are you taking steps to? So do it. So I thank you guys for listening in to Glowing in Depth podcast. I thank you so much, and I love you all. Bye-bye.